Welcome back to the 2024 Canadian Golf Croquet Championship. This event was co-hosted by the Lawrence Park Croquet Club and the North Toronto Club. We're getting a good look at Lawrence Park's two beautiful lawns right now, where all of the first flight block games as well as the playoffs for the semis were played. And as we zoom over to the North Toronto Club, we can see that the clubs are only a few minutes apart. North Toronto hosted all of the championship games as well as the first flight final. And as we look at the courts, the final we're going to be watching is played on the North Court, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. All right, zooming back into the action. This is Game 3. John Richardson in white won Game 1 7-0 over Adam Barr in the background there with the red shirt. Adam, that's me, your commentator. I was able to bounce back in Game 2 and take that 7-3. So after taking a lunch break, we're back for the first ball of Game 3. So this final is best of 5. So again, this is first balls of Game 3. And as we watch these shots, so John played a really nice looking blue down to hoop 1. I kept my distance, trying to make it a little harder. Blue can't hit red and stop. Probably would have liked to have been straighter on the hoop, where blue could have really only hit red to the boundary. So see John shooting there. John's playing with Oakley Woods Predator mallet. His is a 12-inch head. I know he's got some extra weight. I'm also using a Predator head, 11-inch head. I'm using a bent shaft. When I started playing, most players at North Toronto, for sure, and I think at Lawrence Park and many clubs in the Greater Toronto area, Oakley Woods is the predominant mallet, and they're great mallets, and I think Don Oakley Woods being located only about 2 hours away from the Toronto area, it's just a better chance for everyone to try those mallets. And over time, as new people come, they see what everyone else is using, and Don's great about coming each year and doing a demo day. So we see most club players playing with Oakley Woods mallets. So I got my first mallet after a demo day. Picked up a bent shaft, and it really just felt great with the Solomon grip. Starting with my wrists flexed, when I make contact with the ball, they're really back into a neutral position, so it feels really good. It allows for a free-flowing long backswing, if that's what's required. John's got an important hit here. Yellow. Really nice central contact. Looking at this situation, and yellow really can't go anywhere. As soon as I put yellow in front, blue's just going to clear it. So I've taken the decision to just take it to the boundary, which ensures I have a hoop shot or look at the hoop on my next rotation. So John's tried to play a block. It doesn't look like it's going to be blocking yellow's path to hoop at this point. I'm thinking here is just if I can move blue, hit the right side of it, I could take a second ball to the boundary. Now, that can be very problematic. You really got to watch out for that. Blue is all over red now because red did not get off the court. And we see when players are beginning, they think, oh, it's great. I've centrally hit the opponent's ball, but there's a lot of danger in that. And when black takes position here, if yellow were to shoot the hoop and miss, blue would follow, and then look where blue is on the boundary behind red. Can easily hit red to the far side of the court. So I'm not sure if I am blocked on the hoop, but either way, I hit black. I can actually tell that I was trying to hit black there just based on the pace. If I was trying to run the hoop, I would have hit that much harder. So I've managed to tick black away. Unfortunately, yellow's rolled on a little bit more. Would have liked to hit that more centrally. Looks like John didn't have much there. Red was probably blocking the whole path to the front, so he's rolled forward into a hoop position while pushing red out of the way. And I've gone right back to the boundary. John brought black back in front. May have been looking to hide that from yellow. Hard to tell. Oh, that's not good. Look at me. Head down. Frustration. Got to get that ball in front. I may have been trying a very difficult shot where I would get yellow in front of the hoop, but perhaps using black as a shield from blue. That block looks really close. So red may not have anything here with the hoop. So if that's the case, I'm gonna have to clear black. If you've watched the other games, you'll notice the sky at the beginning was bright blue, no clouds. Yeah, that looks like shooting at black. Did not get it. Hand on the hip. John has fairly straight hoop, and he's run it through. He might have had a chance for the jaws there. Doesn't look like yellow would have had much it could have done about it. But John's rolled through. Yellow's come down. We've talked about it before. We'd like to see that much closer. John's turned to be a little frustrated. Probably had a path to just squeak by, but caught his own ball. So we'll speed up the footage as I collect my ball from behind hoop 2 and bring it all the way over to the offside area. It looks, yeah, that's a great setup from that distance. Looks like it might even be blocking blue. I'm not sure what's going on here with John. He backed off that one. It's a great idea, though. You know, let's assume that he was having conflicting thoughts. This can be a challenge. You step up to the ball and you're thinking, you know, am I setting up? Am I hitting? And when you're arguing with yourself over the ball, you usually end up with a bad result. So John did take the time, backed off, collected himself, but looks like he still didn't get a great result. So here I'm talking to John and motioning. I want to get that black ball marked in. Not so fussed, getting it exactly where it went out. The important thing is that we both agree on where it's coming back in, because my intention here is going to be to hide from it. So yeah, I do believe that red is protecting the hoop from blue. And yellow looks like it's really nice hiding from black. And this is a situation where you back your opponent into a corner. Blue can clear red, but then black is not going to be able to clear yellow easily. It would take some sort of fantastic shot running through the hoop. So take a look at where that blue is. Let's see if we can sort of estimate how far away it is from the hoop. It's a little tricky with these the perception, but I think it's safe to say that it's around somewhere between 8 to 9 yards. So you see me in the background. John is really good at the shot. I've mentioned that in other videos. So I am preparing myself for him to make this shot, so that I'm not surprised if that's what happens. I'll be thinking if he makes that shot, it'll be red to play, and I'll just hit a good setup shot. Just incredible. Little fist bump. Let's watch that again. It's too good. Incredible height. That first bounce. Bar down. Very special. You don't love it when it's against you, but I gotta respect it. John has a real ability to stand over those and work out the physics of where he's going to hit his ball, at what angle, at what speed to generate the height. Well, I find myself 2-0 down, and that would be the third game out of 3 where I'm 2-0 down. So it looks like that first red ball was not great. John's certainly not scared of it. He has not made any attempt to block or clear it. It looks like I'm trying the jaw. And that is what I've done. It's interesting. I mean, John just showed an ability to jump from 8 or 9 yards, and this jump looks like it's about 6 yards. Maybe gambling a little bit here. Challenging him, maybe. See if he wants to do it 2 times. Looks like he's getting ready to jump. I think he's talking himself out of it. Looks like he's decided to clear yellow for now. I'm a little surprised. So John's cleared yellow. think I can actually score red. I'm just checking that it is blocked. I think blue has some angle that he could clear red to the side perhaps. So it looks like I'm just playing back in case he's successful at doing that. Yellow, I would hope that I was trying to hide it from black. So Jones just hit the wire. Didn't look like red moved at all. It appears that I have a clear shot down to hoop 4. So I got some good pace on that. Right down to hoop running position. See, I think looking back, maybe if John watches this, he'll comment for us about what he was thinking. Did he contemplate the second long jump in a row? Why did he decide not to do that? And looking back, I think that might have been his strongest play there. Certainly would have been a statement. A little tricky play here. My red's down in scoring position, so it looks like I've snuggled up against blue. There's a couple things you want to keep in mind. So if I play yellow down to a really strong position, blue could be motivated to shoot the hoop. And so that idea of you back the opponent into a corner, you're going to force them to try special shots, and when they make them, it can be gutting. So by snuggling him there, it took away any hero shot for him. And with black going deep, it's a free and clear red hoop attempt. Oh, that looked like it went in, spun, rejected. So yeah, the cloud cover has increased. The humidity was very high. I believe it's going to start raining soon. We might see a few drops on the camera lens. So John's trying to size up where he could put black, where red will not have a backswing, no way to hit black. So he's sort of checking and rechecking the math on this one. And he's played forward. So now my snuggle has come back to bite me a bit. My yellow cannot help defend hoop 4. So I think I spend some time here thinking through the next few shots for each of us, trying to decide, sometimes it's good to leave your balls tied up, sometimes it's not. Definitely battling a few different plays in my head, I think. So it looks like here I was thinking to mess up John's next shot too. But I think eventually I realized that I need to get yellow free and clear, because it may very well be the first ball to hoop 5. Right, if John plays down with blue, if indeed I can't do anything with red, black may have a jump. So I want to make sure my yellow ball is free and unencumbered so that I can get over to hoop 5. It looks like John's just playing halfway, also sort of thinking this hoop is going to be won here by black. So looks like I've successfully gone in front. But this would have been John's plan, putting black there, knowing red couldn't do anything other than give it a jump shot. It was close. Tried to give a little extra pop. It's failed the jump. Black has ended up where red cannot see it. Yellow's gone right back in front. I have to think John um, didn't want blue to end up there. It's not strong at all. As you can see, reds hit blue probably all the way to the far boundary and maintained. So just by that one ball alone, I've managed to flip this hoop to full control. And now it's John having to just play in front, giving me the jump. I'm just quietly watching this and remembering the frustration. It's a nice jump just off the straight into the left post. Just an alignment issue there. So John takes a shot. Going to assume he was shooting for red. I think we sort of hear him yell out, and when he realizes, I think he was tracking black, and he was about to clear his own ball from in front. But he just hit the wire. All balls remained as they were, and I have basically the mirror jump, the one I just missed with yellow. Same distance, same result. Right off the left wire again. So you see John here. This is a good tactical, plan. Think about when you come through. What can you do to either give yourself an advantage or give your opponent a more difficult shot? So looks like black was trying to get into red's way towards the next hoop. It looked like yellow was going to be hampered, but it looked like it was able to just sneak around and put yellow. Looks like a reasonable hoop shot. So I'm actually not sure what's going on here. I think that John could not advance could not hit yellow. So he took the decision to hit me away from black, knowing that if I could have, I probably would have wanted to just smash black away, leaving yellow its hoop. It's a really nice red. So another hoop where I have, looks like control right now. I guess John's got the double here. If he can smack yellow into red and clear both of them. Oh, tough break. Tough break for John. You always sort of muttering to yourself, how? What kind of angle? Couldn't have done that in 1,000 tries if he tried to do it. But I'll take the good break there. Brings it back to 2-3. Don't think John would be happy with that blue. Just a little pressure for red, internal pressure. Just make a good setup. And yellow can clear blue a long way away and maintain control. So I have to think we're going to see a clearing attempt. Just skates by everything. So this is a really good opportunity to send blue away, maintain 2 balls in front. Well, just like that. So John shot at red, attempting to clear it. He's gone offside. Meaning more than halfway towards the next hoop without touching an opponent ball. So you see me just directing him back to the offside area on the far side. So I'm going to go get the ball for him, just speed things up a bit. So black's played in to reasonable position. Looks like we're just playing a nice block, trying to play a nice block. That's a little short, yeah. Muttering a bit. And John will be doing the same with his ball. It's not strong. So I'm lining something up. So I can see, I don't remember what I'm going to do here. Based on the feed now, it looks like I'm shooting black. Another thought was you could try to push yellow forward into blocking black's position. Even if it doesn't get the block, it puts pressure on black. If it were to miss, yellow would have an easy hoop. But I did try to clear black, but I failed that. John keeps leaning on these hoops, making sure they're nice and firm. So I've battled back again from 0-2 down, got into 3-3. John's shooting here to go back up. He's made a nice hoop there. He's run past the peg, which is giving him some good control over hoop 8. So trying to get inside black. That looks quite good. Doesn't look like a block, but it certainly looks like a runnable ball. So I'm sure blue here was thinking, just put it down in front. Black can push yellow behind the hoop. But with blue going deep, it changes the options with line of play for black. And red looks good. It's just hard to tell what John had here. Well, he accomplished what he was trying to do. Take yellow away. So you see me sort of looking at a spot on the ground. I think the goal here with yellow is to get runnable position, but you can see that it's a very small landing area where it would be hidden but also runnable. And that looks really close. It looks like it's got the wire, meaning black can't get to yellow. So blue is playing on red. And that's well done. Blue has maintained hoop running position, jumping distance easily for John. It's very important if you can know your opponents and their tendencies, their strengths, their weaknesses. Jumping is a good example. You know, at what distance are they comfortable jumping? What are their percentages like? And the same thing with roquets. You know, if you set up a ball 5 yards from them, are they likely to hit you or leave you? Of course, you don't know everyone you play against. You've not played against them before. But when you do know an opponent, all these facts get factored into all of your decisions. So I've made a decision there to give John this jump if he wants it. We've seen him make one. We've seen him miss a short one. It is quite disastrous for John if he were to attempt to jump yellow and push yellow through. I would then have first ball to hoop 9 with red. but we saw John sort of, figuring out, what can he do, um, barring giving up and going halfway. He's got the jump. Great view for the people on the bench. And a beautiful attempt. John again got the physics right, got the hit just right in terms of the height, right? The bounce, the blue cleared yellow, but went off the outside of the wire. So as red, it's hard to tell what black could do. I don't think black had a jump there, but red's just going back in front just in case. Black's able to clear yellow. May have enough angle for that. And that's exactly what John's looking at. How much of yellow, if any, is in the jaw versus right in front. Oh, he got yellow out, but did you see that black almost try to go back into the jaw? That would have been something else. So it looks like, based on where blue is on the line, yellow's maybe just trying for a block, just protect red. But it has failed. So it looks like red's wide open for John. Hitting red here will force a reset. Red will come back, black will clear yellow. And he's found the hole between yellow and red. It doesn't look like I gave it any thought. There's a shot here to go off the left side of black, head towards hoop 9, while also pushing black wired from yellow. But it doesn't look like I was in the mood to mess around. So we're back to 4-4. John's got a little bit of a hampered stance here, hampered swing. I think we're going to see some of the shots start taking longer. John in particular is going to have a couple sort of big moments that take some extra care on. This game 3 is obviously critical, with the match being 1-1 in a best of 5. Both of us, of course, would want to be up 2-1. And here we are at 4-4. So hoop 9 is always a critical hoop, sort of regardless of what the score is. It can be a real turning point, a chance to zoom ahead. If you can run 9 down to 10, you can win 2 hoops in a row. So whether you're leading or trailing, a lot of focus on hoop 9, and ideally trying to get a fairly straight hoop attempt that gives you that chance to run down. So John's come up short with both of his first balls. It looks like I've got a reasonable hoop with yellow. That's unfortunate. If red could have taken perfect position there, black may have been forced to clear red, leaving yellow the hoop, because anything else, even hitting yellow to the line, if yellow were to hit blue a long distance away, leaving red in front, that could be big trouble for John. But red did not leave it right in front, so black now looks like has attempted the block. I'm down in my golf reading pose. Looks like there's no trouble there. I believe I've got this straight hoop. And that's another failed hoop. It stayed right in the area, which is good. So John's trying to decide where to put blue. In the current state, red needs to clear black. So it looks like he's decided to run a block in. If he could have come between red and black, would have forced red to have to either cannon blue into black or jump blue onto black. But it looks like he's just missed his block. Red's not great. It would have been great if red could have maintained a hoop shot. So John's bringing black back into play. And now yellow has a decision. It looks like we're just taking blue up. This is a good cut. Makes blue's hoop much more challenging. But at the same time, yellow is also quite a bit of an angle to the hoop. So blue is sort of tempting red here. Black may have a hoop shot, but it didn't feel I could leave blue there, because black, especially where it is, had a fairly easy block to protect blue from yellow. So, as Ammer would say, John gave me a cookie, and I took it. John does not appear that he's going to run that hoop, but he now has his ball directly in front. So if you watch game 2, you saw me run hoop 9 from a very similar position. just at that halfway peg, just about 18 inches to my right. And it's hard to say here. Am I shooting hoop? Am I hitting black? It's got to be one or the other. And there's unlucky break for me. I've hit black right into the jaws. And we saw John at hoop 5 push me through. So a little payback maybe. Luck is definitely a part of golf croquet. And you will be lucky, you will be unlucky. And sometimes it's important to remember that. It feels often that you're only unlucky, but that's unlikely to be the case. So you saw me look at it, and I think that my decision was that black could not easily score. So by putting red there, it's going to force John to do something. He cannot just straighten it up into the hoop because yellow would then at least attempt to clear blue a long way away. And if yellow was successful in doing that, and blue failed hitting red back, red would have a jump. So I think we are discussing this, and I'm telling John that, I think you can score that, but you cannot travel down the lawn, or you would be crushing. So Tate, Cammy and Tate both tried to come out to help us. Very nice, but this is Tate Rusak. Tate's from Florida. Cammy and Tate traveled up for our championship. They were both kind enough to offer their volunteer refereeing services. So Tate's going to keep an eye on this one. John's just sort of explaining what his intention is. He's got to do a really quick little stop shot and try to just poke it through, which he's done. So I sort of viewed this as a best case scenario for me. Remember we were talking about hoop 9. The player scoring hoop 9 will often run down and take control of hoop 10. So by John just trickling through, I will have the first ball down. So I can take control at hoop 10, which is, I've done that with yellow. That's a good yellow. John's bringing blue down. Ideally would be trying to get inside yellow. Block, of course, would be amazing, but even just getting inside would be strong. Where yellow has ended up is, where blue has ended up is again quite problematic for John's, and from John's perspective, because as we can see now, yellow can simply turn around and send blue very, very far away. So I'm stepping back and I'm looking at a wire position. Is there somewhere I could hit blue where when it comes to rest, it will be wired on red? Maybe using the peg or one of the other hoops. blue misses all the balls. I think it started to rain now. If we're looking back at the audience in that previous shot, most of them have moved up under the tent. Yeah, and I think there we can see a raindrop just on the lens now. So a nice opportunity here to bring the game back to 5-5. Did not stroke that with authority, but I am looking at it, and here I do remember this one because this is quite a unique one. That red ball is more than halfway through. It is just not through. And this is an example of some time being taken for a shot, but this is obviously a very critical situation because red is so far through that hoop and black is back based on where it is in relation to hoop 11. It's back around 3.5 yards, so let's say 10 to 12 foot jump. Very challenging because if he just touches red will score, and yellow will have first ball to 11. And as we can see, yellow is legal, very close to hoop 11. So I think John's looking at a line of play here. Black could hit yellow and attempt to hit it on the right side and bring black over legally in front of hoop 11. Yellow would have to play back to an onside position. Blue would then have a chance, if it wanted, to try to clear red from behind. We see blue on the line. That would also be very challenging, though, because of how far red is through the hoop. So we see John thinking about this clearance here. And we see the games in the back have sort of come to a stop. The players are now standing around watching. Because again, everyone I think realizes the situation in terms of the score, the next hoop. John's really trying to decide, is it worth the risk? The risk reward. I think it's quite important to think about percentages and odds as you work through decisions. I believe that I was very happy to see John attempting this jump, just knowing how difficult it is to successfully make this jump without wiggling red at all. And gotta be prepared again when your opponent makes excellent shots. So huge for John, going up 6-4. I really don't think we can overstate how difficult that jump was. But John's done it, so I'm in deep here, down 6-4. And I remember we're sort of looking at that, and I can't believe it. My ball has moved backwards in the hoop. So somehow when he flew through, less of my ball is through than it had been before the shot. So I'm telling everyone who will listen to my sad tale of woe. Yellow's okay. It's not straight. Certainly makeable. So what I'm doing here, this is good one is I cannot move towards the next hoop. So knowing that I can only hit straight through, I'm trying to work out where I can get red to that will impede John's next shot. This is really nice, actually. Again, given the circumstances, doing the very best I could do from the position I found myself in. Trying to do something useful. With each decision in golf croquet, ideally you try to do two things if you can. Maybe set up and block, but anyway, this is a wonderful block, so it's forcing John to jump to attempt to clear yellow. And he's got it over and rolling nicely and just missed yellow. But it's a good opportunity here. To roll down, just can't get stuffed in the hoop here. That would be disastrous with blue right there. That's really nice. And we see John's black ball's offside, so that's going to have to move. So John's brought blue in. Not super strong. So can we get a good one with red? Oh. If red could just get a bit closer, it'd be so great. Red almost blocked yellow on blue, but I believe that remains open. So black is right back in front. So you start thinking multiple shots forward. So yellow has a hoop shot now. If yellow were to miss, what's blue likely to do? Blue's likely to smash red across the lawn. If red misses black, black runs the hoop. So yellow is trying to clear blue. Which is fine. But a couple things. Blue now could hit red, taking away red's hoop shot. Blue could come in for a block. But either way, even if red wants to run that hoop, it's doing so under the pressure of black being right there. So looking back at this, I wonder if yellow maybe should have just shot the hoop, because it was a guaranteed hoop shot. Because if, depending on what blue had done there, red might never have gotten a hoop shot. And this red hoop shot is not it's not significantly easier than the yellow was. But that's the situation I found myself in. Very straight, but stuck in the jaws, it looks like. So John's had several jumping opportunities. So we're going to get the camera to follow. You can see the rain starting to really come down now. And this is to win game 3. And very close. Looks like he got both wires on the jump. So hitting blue anywhere there was going to leave it in a pretty good wired position. Would have been nicer to keep yellow a little closer to hoop 13. So John can come back through, clearing red. Oh, full wire, spun out in front. So red safely through. Now, Phil is going to come over and start talking to me about should we get the camera, because now it's really coming down. And I'm agreeing. So Phil is going to go get a peg, and we've decided that what we'll do is just swap the peg. So John's got first ball to 13, and it's a little bit short. So I'm just taking a run up here. I need to be sure that it is short, and it is. And then we see Phil approaching. So he's going to just take off the peg with the camera and replace it with a regular peg. Now, unfortunately, right after we play the fourth ball to hoop 13, there's a huge lightning and thunder, and we left the court. So we left the 4 balls at hoop 13. We took shelter, and we had over an hour rain delay. And when we came back, no one remembered to put the camera back on the lawn or turn it on. So we do not have any footage of the end of Game 3, but I have come up with a solution. So we're looking at Brookwood Golf Croquet by A.H. Dutton, and this is going to allow me to simulate shots. Honestly, I don't remember the exact sequence of every shot because this was mid-July and I'm recording this in December, but I certainly remember the last 2 shots. So after black came up short, I believe yellow came into position. So blue to play now in front of hoop 12. I believe John shot at yellow, knowing that if you miss, you end up just on the boundary, which is a fine result. And now red, I think I was trying to come into position blocking blue's hoop, sort of knowing that black's going to clear yellow. So black here will try to hit yellow to the side boundary and take the straight on boundary. And we'll say that's what was done. So now yellow needs to set up protecting the hoop from blue. I don't remember where yellow went, but I do know that it did not block red or blue, because I definitely remember John having this hoop and me hoping that he wouldn't shoot it, and so he tries to clear red, and really unfortunate, John put red right into the jaw. And you have to remember that we had been off for an hour for that lightning delay, and we came back, and what did we have? Maybe 4 shots, and John's second shot back was maybe that clearance, and very tough break for him, very lucky break for me. So I was able to obviously step up and put red through, And that's a wrap on Game 3. And we'll see you back for Game 4. This one is not even close to being over.